Sure. I'm Carolyn Femovich, and I'm the Executive Director of the Patriot League. I have been the Commissioner or the Executive Director here at the Patriot League going into my 13th year. Prior to that, I spent 17 years at the University of Pennsylvania down in Philadelphia. And then prior to that, was a coach and an administrator at a Division III school in Pennsylvania called Gettysburg College. So I've been in this business for probably over 30 years. Always been a strong sport advocate, of course, and someone who really believes in the true student athlete, and as we call it, the scholar athlete model. But coached basketball and tennis, but I've always had a strong affinity for football and just about any other sport, because it's the opportunity that it presents for the kids to get a great experience intercollegiately. Sure. Patriot League consists of 8 what we call full members. In other words, they participate in all sports. And those members are American, Army, Bucknell, Colgate, the College of the Holy Cross, Lafayette, Lehigh, and the Naval Academy. And we have been together as an all-sport conference for 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. But the Patriot League really came together initially as a football conference, what was called the Colonial Football League, going back to 1986, which was our first football season. And it was through that affiliation as football members that our institutions really felt strongly about expanding their association into an all-sport conference. And today we have 8 full members. We compete in 23 Division I sports. And, of course, Army and Navy play football as independents in the Football Bowl subdivision. And American University does not sponsor football. So our football playing members are 5 of our full members, and then the other 5 of our full members being Bucknell, Colgate, Holy Cross, Lehigh, and Lafayette, along with associate members of Fordham and Georgetown. So we have 7 football playing members, with Fordham and Georgetown as what we call associate members. And Fordham has been with us since the early 90s when they were part of the league as an all-sport member, but continue to play football with us today. And Georgetown joined the league in football in 2001. Well, for the league as a whole, absolutely. And, of course, nothing's more important than conference play or Patriot League play for us. In football, the Lehigh and Lafayette rivalry is certainly one of the most storied in the country, with the most played games, now exceeding 145 games, going back quite a few years. But we also have strong rivalries, around the Army-Navy Association. I think depending upon a particular sport, it could be Colgate and Bucknell in lacrosse, or Holy Cross and American in soccer. Women's basketball, perhaps Holy Cross and Lehigh, or American and Lehigh. So I think it depends on the sport, but I think the most obvious, or the ones that are most well-known, are the Lafayette-Lehigh rivalry in football, and of course all other sports, as well as the Army-Navy rivalry. Well, I believe certainly a strong commitment and believing in what we do. For me, the Patriot League values of athletics through education and being a part of the educational experience is something that I firmly believe in. And so for me, I have no problem selling the Patriot League and talking strongly or advocating for the league because of its values and attributes. I've spent a good number of years at institutions that are similar to the Patriot League, going back to the University of Pennsylvania or at Gettysburg College, and I think just that strong a familiarity with the academic model and Division I athletics as part of the educational experience. I think there's a lot of things that go into being a commissioner or executive director, but probably first and foremost is being able to demonstrate leadership through collaboration, You know, I can have the most wonderful idea in the world, but if I can't sell it to our members, or if it's not something that is of importance or value to them, it doesn't go anywhere. So I think certainly understanding and identifying with their goals and aspirations, and then being able to provide the leadership to allow us to continue to grow and expand. And I don't mean just in terms of numbers and size, but grow and expand in terms of our visibility and how we're known in the marketplace as a relatively young conference. But to advance our values and to be able to demonstrate that what we believe in, the scholar-athlete model, to be something that can be successful and can work in Division I athletics. So I think it's a combination of things, and hopefully it's involves some strong interpersonal skills and ability to connect with the membership, whether it's student athletes, coaches, administrators, presidents, or faculty. But I believe strongly in what we do, and so that makes my job that much easier. Well, I wouldn't call them special talents, but I like to play the game of golf, and I like to think that I'm a physically active person, so I tend to work out on a pretty regular basis, and nothing that would put me into any competitive realm, but certainly for just good health and well-being. It obviously helps keep me sharp, let's put it that way, and stay in shape a bit. But I enjoy the game of golf. Used to play a lot of tennis, and haven't done that in recent years, but I think because in the business we spend so much time going to athletic events and spending time on the campuses and interacting outside the office, I enjoy the travel. I enjoy the people. Whenever my husband can join me, that's great, because it certainly adds to the travel and the time that we can spend together. But, I think the usual kind of things of reading and just sometimes alone time, just to get away from it all a little bit, to clear your head and think about what might be happening in the world other than intercollegiate athletics and higher education. Well, first and foremost, I think we are, if not the leader, one of the leaders in graduation rates across the country. I mean, historically, we've been at the top of the pack, and we certainly work to stay there. But I think that's largely because the student athletes who are admitted and come to Patriot League institutions are very qualified academically to do the work at their institution. One of the unique things about the Patriot League is that we have what we call an academic index, which is our methodology for assessing whether or not a student athlete fits within the academic profile of the institution. Because our belief is that no individual athlete or otherwise should be admitted to an institution if we truly don't think they're capable of doing the work, succeeding, being successful, and of course graduating. So we take great pride in that distinguishing factor of the league, that we are truly admitting student athletes or scholar athletes that can do the work and are equipped to go forward in a successful way. So leading graduation rates is certainly one of our hallmarks. APRs, the academic progress rate, is certainly never an issue for any of our schools or any of our programs, because our coaches, I think, are educators first and foremost, and see themselves as educators of young people, and sport just happens to be their teaching field. But I think our schools play it out year in and year out. We have a large number of academic All-Americas, frequently have finalists, if not selections for Rhodes Scholarships and other such national and international academic programs. And then certainly track how they're doing once they leave their colleges or universities, because our model is as much about the academics, but also about developing leaders for life and really trying to position them through their athletic and educational experience to be able to move into a leadership role, whether it's in their profession or career or in society or in the academies, the military, the naval and military and naval academies. So I think, for us, it's really a matter of living out what we say we do, today's scholar athletes, tomorrow's leaders, and we're in the business of developing leaders. Well, sure. I think, for us, we always want to be competitive, not only internally with each other, to have a really strong league that values its competition against each other, but can be successful against other FCS opponents in conferences. And obviously, our automatic qualification into the NCAA championship is extremely important to us. We're always striving to perform at the highest level, because I think it's when our teams succeed, and this is certainly true in football, when our automatic qualifier or an at-large team, if we are lucky enough to have a second team participate, advances beyond that first round. I think it is a demonstration of our ability to compete with some of the best teams in the country. Obviously, one of our great success stories was the Colgate team of 2003 that advanced to the national championship game, to only lose to Delaware in that game. But I think what we're always striving to do is to be as good as we can be, and not, put any restraints on our competitive opportunities, but obviously not to compromise any of our academic values and educational focus. So for football, we obviously want to be competitive, at the highest level. From a membership standpoint, 7 is not the easiest number to work with, and I think we would like to, grow to 8 or 9 members in football. But that is a discussion that continues to go on and has gone on for a number of years, largely because it's extremely important to us that anyone that we invite to join the league is someone who will really complement the league, will embrace our values and our philosophies and our academic focus, and will be a contributing member of the Patriot League in a very positive way. So those choices, I think, are few and far between, but we're always looking for that opportunity to expand the league in all the right ways, whether it's just as a football member or perhaps even as an all-sport member. The other area I think that we've continued to work on is the television package and the web streaming, the opportunities to really highlight the performance of our student athletes in football as well as every other sport. And we're fortunate that we have a strong partnership with CBS Sports Network. This year in football, they're televising 2 of our games. But our institutions have also made a strong commitment with their regional partners to televise. I think we have more than half of our games being televised this year in football. Athletes is to say there's a storied history that came before you for 25 years, but we're exceptionally proud of how well you play, how well you do your work in the classroom, and how well you represent your institutions. And we expect great things from each of you individually as well as collectively as team members. And obviously we want to continue to compete in intercollegiate athletics at the Division I level and do it the right way. I think it's always interesting to see how some of our football student athletes have done in the professional ranks. Currently, we have 3 players who are playing professionally. Most recently was Will Rackley from Lehigh, who was drafted by Jacksonville, and looks like he could be a starter for them. But he follows individuals such as Blake Costanza from Lafayette and John Skelton from Fordham, who are both actively playing on NFL teams. So I would say for players as well as for public at large, I think you can accomplish football goals as well as academic goals. It's a unique individual that advances to the NFL, but I think it's obvious that we've had some strong history and some great examples for what we can do on the playing field outside the Patriot League as well as in the classroom. Sure. This is Carolyn Femovich, Executive Director of the Patriot League, and it is my pleasure to serve on behalf of all of our student athletes and coaches and alumni and faculty and administrators of Patriot League institutions. And certainly I hope everyone will join us as we kick off the 25th anniversary of Patriot League football and continue to achieve great things both on the playing field as well as in the classroom.